If you've ever enjoyed a basketball game, you're in luck. These days, the NBA is full of famous players who shoot three-point shots with incredible accuracy that we've never seen before in history. Stephen Curry is the most famous of these elite shooters, but there are several others who are almost as good. Here's a table of 6 elite three-point shooters and the number of three-pointers that they made in the season ending in 2015. A table is a great way to organize exact data by category. The data here is the number of three-point shots made, and the category is simply the player. We call this categorical data. The players are ordered by last name. Can you see the top three-point shooter? Steph Curry, of course. Can you see the second best player? Klay Thompson with 239. You had to scan to the bottom to notice that Klay Thompson was second best. This is one reason that a bar graph is a great way to visualize categorical data. To create a bar graph, we put the categories, in this case the players, on the x-axis. We put the data, in this case the number of three-pointers made, on the y-axis. What would be the maximum value on the y-axis? How about 300? That's a nice round number that's above Steph Curry's 286. Now, what would you count to 300 by? Maybe by tens. So that's how we'll scale the y-axis. Each horizontal line represents 10 more three-pointers. We'll only label every 50 so that the y-axis doesn't get too cluttered with numbers and it's easy to read. So, let's add the data. Here is each player's data represented as a bar that stops at the number of three-pointers each player made. That's a bar graph. Now it's easy to answer questions about the data. Who's the best? Steph Curry. Who made the fewest three-pointers in this list? Kyle Lowry. Who made more three-pointers, James or Damian? James. Which players made less than 200 three-pointers? Eric, Damian, and Kyle. With a bar graph, it's hard to see exact values, but it's really easy to visualize relationships between different players. Let's add the 2016 data for these players to the graph. This is called a clustered bar graph. Each player gets a cluster of 2 bars. The second bar shows the three-pointers for the season ending in 2016. There is so much to see here. For example, it's really obvious that Steph Curry is still a lot better than everyone else here. Did all the players improve from 2015 to 2016? All except Eric Gordon. Who improved the most? Amazingly, Steph Curry, who was already the best in 2015. About how much was his improvement? It's easy to read from the graph even though it might not be the exact answer. About 120 three-pointers. Who was the next most improved? Kyle Lowry. How much was his improvement? About 80 three-pointers. Okay, tough question. Who scored the third most three-pointers all together over the 2 years? That's a little tough to see. But if we stacked the bars on top of each other, it would be easy. So let's do it. This is a stacked bar graph. It shows the same data as the clustered bar graph, it's just stacked. So who's the third best? James Harden. Bar graphs make visualizing and comparing categorical data as effortless as a Steph Curry three-point shot. Pick the kind of graph that works best for visualizing your data and answering your questions. A bar graph, a clustered bar graph, or a stacked bar graph. Your bar graphs might not get you in the NBA, but you'll understand categorical data like an all-star.